Hey, welcome back. As most of you guys know, or some of you know, it's been spring break. So I've been talking to a monster lot of students. And if you're looking for some dumb leftists, if you think that all the colleges are churning out nothing but a bunch of dumbasses, well, then this isn't the video for you. You're going to find a lot of rather intelligent young people here. And although there are a few liberals in this sprinkling, they are at least willing to have a conversation, engage, and some give and take. So, and then of course you're going to run into some really good students that'll give you put some smiles on your faces. So this is a good one in that sense. So if you're looking for contention, well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. This won't be that video. So if you know what you do, if you like it, you like it. If you care, share, all that good stuff, and support me. So you know, all this hard work I'm doing, I feel like I'm getting some kind of appreciation for. So go to the shop and get one of my designs, or just throw some money in my kitty. It would be nice, or become a patron. So it's a long run. Let's get to it. I don't want to keep you too long, and let me know what you think. God bless you.
We do have a two-tier justice system, it seems. You know, the powerful seem to get away with things
that is true, right?
That, you know, we would go to jail for. Yeah. Now, you've been following the Mueller.
Yeah. Then they haven't said what's on the report, so we'll see.
Yeah, but there's no. He said no more indictments. That's it. That's over with.
What about the sealed indictments?
Well, that's supposed, for you listen to the Q and all, that's supposed to be against the deep state colluders.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You don't think it's against Trump and his kids?
No, I wouldn't know what for. Unless they want to go after him for things like, I mean, as I say, you know, it's all political. What I look at is this. Trump wasn't ever really part of the deep state. He didn't belong to the never went to Bohemian Grove, never went to the Bilderberg Group. He didn't belong to any of the secret societies. And all of the powerful belong to those, you know, to CFR and all that. And he always was standing outside that. And he wasn't supposed to be in there.
No, it's true.
You know, so he's like against the establishment in that sense, and so in that sense, I think that that's why you get all the media mostly against him and whatnot, because you know the media is heavily liberal and owned by the establishment.
Yeah,
so
it's really interesting to see.
Yeah,
I know my ex-husband supports him.
Well, that is because he's ex now, isn't he?
Right, exactly. Take care.
How you doing?
Doing well. How you doing?
Oh, it's got a show. Where are you from?
I'm from Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
On spring break?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What are you studying?
I'm a theater major. So I'm a theater and anthropology and sociology major, so...
Oh.
Yeah.
Very good. It's a good thing to be in that area, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just looking at some of the posters and everything.
Yeah. It's a very liberal area. How do you lean? How do you know?
So I lean more towards the liberal side, so that's why I was just interested in like hearing some of the stuff that you think about, because
sure.
I'm all for, like, I'm not one of the liberals who are like, fuck everything, like, but like, you know,
you're a thinking guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I do want to hear both sides of an argument before.
Yeah, that's what we should do. We should be talking, trying to find common ground here, because it's not all either one side or the other. I mean, there's good and bad on all the way around, and all this BS.
Yeah.
Some things are. You know, yeah, but for the most part, you know, we shouldn't, as you say, be, you know, screaming at one another.
Yeah, exactly.
So what were you interested in talking about?
The day signing and the political correctness sign, since everything else is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, the they sign, basically, I look at it this way. Anytime you're getting, if you're commercial, if you're getting paid commercial money and you're on TV, you're really at the beck and call of the people that are paying you the money, the corporations.
I agree.
So it's like, even on Fox News, half their commercials are pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
So, if the pharmaceutical companies come out with something that's going to, that hurts us, they're not exactly going to go out of their way to report on it.
Exactly.
So I take everything on TV with a big grain of salt. And I think where we really get our news out is from each other and the independent news agencies.
What independent news agencies do you think are the most credible in terms of, like,
the ones they try to silence? Listen to the people they try to silence. The ones they promote are just as bad as the ones that they're, that got on TV. So InfoWars is a good one because they are really trying to keep them off the board. They're trying to shut off Stefan Molyneux now. They're trying to shut down almost anybody that speaks independently truth. Guys like in the UK, like Tommy Robinson. They're trying to put him in jail and shut him up. So that's it. My rule of thumb is if they're trying to silence you, listen to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, and political correctness is just, that's just, tired of listening to the cookie cutter, bland talk around a subject. That's why people resonated with Donald Trump, because, if I had a nickel for every time I heard he says what I think, I'd be as rich as Trump, because he just seems to speak directly to the people, and without any frills. So he just comes out and says it. So.
Do you see any flaws with Trump?
Oh yeah, sure I do. Yeah. There are flaws. He's not aggressive enough. I would like him to see go harder at the deep state. I'd like to see him prosecute the criminals that are in our government even harder. I'd like, he may be a little bit too close to the bankers and to the military-industrial complex because of some of the people he puts in his, in his cabinet and whatnot. So he's still, he talked a good game. Like one of the things he said when he was running that sparked my interest in him. He says, if you elect me president, you will find out who really brought down the Twin Towers. Now, that perked my ears up because I absolutely know that thing's an inside job. It's not that we were lied to totally about that. So when he said that, I went, okay.
That's
Yeah, but I haven't seen him aggressively bring out anything in that yet.
Okay.
So, I'd like to see him still live up to his word, be a little bit more aggressive in exposing the deep state.
And do you think the Mueller investigation is kind of a part of that deep state sort of thing to bring Trump down?
Yeah, absolutely was. Look at all the people he surrounded himself with were hardcore never-Trumpers and establishment, worked for Clinton people. So, again, when you look at it, all of the people that Trump beat out even in the Republican side, were all establishment people.
Yeah, of course.
Because it was supposed to be Bush against Clinton.
Yeah.
What a yawn that would have been. Because they're both establishments.
Of course.
Yeah. So I think he's thrown a big wrench in the works because, again, he wasn't supposed to be there. Yeah. He doesn't belong to the Bohemia. He never went to a Bilderberg meeting or Bohemia Grove. He doesn't belong to the secret societies. So he's always been independent, wealthy, didn't need to be paid off.
Yeah.
So, I think he's, for that reason alone, I think it was a good thing he got in. He shook it up.
Interesting. Well, it was good talking to you.
Oh, it was a pleasure talking to you, young man. I'm glad to see you've got a thinking mind. And,
yeah, of course.
And your question. Here's a get-out-of-jail-free card from Hillary Clinton for you.
Thank you.
All right.
Punch some buttons, go get your I voted button, leave don't ask questions. They're all unplugged.
This is the most popular, of course. This one too. I like that one.
They lie.
Global warming.
Thinking it's hard.
So you guys, what I don't know, college, high school, college?
Yep. UW Platteville, University of Wisconsin.
What are you studying?
I'm a poli-sci major, political science.
Ooh, no wonder you're into it. Yeah, yourself?
Same thing in criminal justice also.
Oh, yeah, who I just spoke to. This was a good conversation. A black attorney, right? Ken Barnes, Esquire, Supreme Court of Louisiana. Oh, yes, quite the conversation here. Everything was racist to him. Unbelievable. And you, what are you thinking?
Cut off the head. And
What am I studying? Business supply chain.
Listen, business supply chain?
Yeah.
Ooh, and yourself?
Sales and marketing.
Sales and marketing?
Yeah.
Isn't that most of my life? Bullshit.
Yeah.
It is. It's basically, you sell a bullshit, which is fine.
Yeah.
The whole world's bullshit.
They make
Damn
money.
straight.
Yeah, indeed. But supply, I mean,
Just making sure the business is running smooth with everything they need. So.
well, that's it. I mean, we're at such a fine, thin line now. If one thing breaks down,
Yeah, and that's all on me.
Yeah, no kidding. Good luck with that, man.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Why do we need a constitutional amendment to outlaw alcohol but not marijuana? That's a fair point.
Well, I've stumped lawyers at that. I mean, seriously, when you get of age, I mean, look, man, if we're supposed to have a true republic here, where we have true freedom, you get educated to what the drugs do.
Yep.
And when you come of age,
Exactly.
if you want to go out there and do meth, hey, free, get out of the gene pool as quick as possible. Get the hell out of here.
Damn fucking straight.
You know,
Government's there to protect you from others, not from yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, so, I mean, the whole idea about making drugs illegal is control.
Yep.
Oh, the reason it's about a police state.
Yep.
We don't have a fucking population problem. Fuck,
Yeah.
let the stupid ones go free.
Yeah. So,
Means 3 buildings, do the math. I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that for years, man.
not as long as I've been saying it.
You got me. You got me. I was 3 when that happened, so you were probably saying it about the time it happened.
Yes. And it is coming to fruition now. There are lawyers in New York that are suing the state and the city to bring that evidence up about that. And it is moving forward. Judges have granted to go to trial.
Good. I like that bottom right corner. Thinking is hard. Vote Democrat. We'll think for you.
You know, one of the things that Trump said when he was running, of course I haven't seen him do anything about it, which is part of the question.
That's politics for you.
Yeah, but he said, if you elect me president, you will find out who really brought down the Twin Towers.
Saudi Arabia.
Well, they were one of them.
One of them.
They were one of them. There were a lot of players from a lot of different countries.
Oh yeah.
If you want to narrow it down, deep state.
Yeah.
But yeah, the real truth ever came about that empires would fall overnight.
U.S. empire would fall quickly.
Oh yeah. It's going to fall anyway. But it'd be nice.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's terrifying to think about, but it's necessary.
Yeah, I spoke to a guy the other day. You can get on my website and see it. The guy's out in California talking about how California, there's an underground California getting ready to, what happens when the collapse happens, because California's ready to go under.
Yep.
And when it happens, they're ready to step in and take over and do what needs to be done. Yeah, you guys got a road to hoe, man. I mean, my generation, we had it the best, man. Fast cars, fast women, we loved it. But we don't have to worry about GMO foods and global warming and any of this bullshit that's being laid on you today. It was just, because, God.
I like your pen.
Oh, yeah.
Republican pissed. I'm pissed.
Yeah. I sincerely believe someone ought to start the piss party. I mean,
how do you feel about the two-party system?
I mean, the two-party system was put in place because it could control two parties. The founding fathers didn't even want to have political parties.
you've made me so happy in this 5 minutes talking to you. I haven't met many people that I can have that conversation with, and actually somebody understands, you know?
Well, you're a political scientist. You study this stuff. I've been doing it all my life. I've been looking at it and going, this ain't what they said it was supposed to be. This is bullshit.
Every time I say that, I get called I'm crazy, or I'm a nut job, and it's like, hey, look at it. Go look at the documents, read them for yourself.
So I'm crazy on a nut job. I'm right.
Hey, I'd rather be crazy than
than insane.
Than be a sheep, you know?
Yeah. I'd say I'd rather be crazy than insane. There's a difference, you know.
Yeah. All right, well.
All right, gentlemen. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for your time.
Go subscribe to my channel, will you?
Will do. Appreciate it. You have a great rest of your time here.
You know I will.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, really? Very good. And what year are you in?
We're sophomores.
So you're just starting out on this?
Yep.
Long journey into, I don't know, college debt.
Accurate.
Which has been in the news lately, college debt and all that. You guys taking loans out and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
I only had 2. Yeah.
Oh, God. So what are you going to do with this education? What are you thinking of doing?
I want to go to law school, and I want to actually run for office.
Great. And what are your political leanings? What are you...
I lean more a more moderate Republican.
Oh, good. And yourself,
Both of us. Yeah. I want to go into campaign management and then run for office. But yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm glad to see you guys actually want to make a difference. That is, well, thank you. I mean, it's because,
it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's because that's the direction. It only takes a small group of dedicated people to change the course of history. And, that's why you're important. The rest, most people are interested in what themselves, got their nose in their iPhones.
True.
And their little superficialities, but not many are like you guys who really want to make a difference. Really, Uncle Sam tips his hat to you.
Well, thank you.
So, how is your college? Up there, is it? Most colleges are leaning liberal, but I don't know. In Oklahoma,
yes, they are.
It's still there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very leaning liberal.
We've got a lot of. I'd say we've got about 40-60 Republican, Republican Democrat student body because of where it's located. But we have some teachers that are.
It's always the teachers.
Yeah.
That's where there's a. I don't know if because you guys are into the politics of this. If you haven't seen it already, there's a KGB agent that defected in '58 that came over here. And he laid out the plan for taking over our country. You can watch this interview on, I think it's on YouTube. And he laid out the plan, and he says it's a 40-year plan. He says the first thing you do is we infiltrate your school boards. We place teachers in the schools that will churn out socialists. And that's after a while you get the Cortezes and the Bernie Sanders. Right? Yeah, right. I know.
I would have been okay with him being president. He would have done nothing. He would have just sat there.
He couldn't get it through Congress.
It's true. He would have just sat there for 4 years.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's always the people behind the scenes that are running the show, which we'd have to worry about what they would be doing while he just sat there. Which would be the whole problem with
Very
that.
true.
Accurate statement. But we would have won. We would have kept Congress had he won the presidency. So.
Yeah. What do you think the current situation? How do you view our current political situation?
I think it could be a lot worse.
I think that socially it's gotten really, really bad. to where, but I like what we're doing, like economic wise, and like for people, but like not for, is that like for our country, but not for the people in our country, if that makes sense. Like I think that the political climate and the social climate is not very good right now because of Donald Trump and like his presidency. I think that although he might not be a hateful person as he seems to be, he's made it socially acceptable for people to be more publicly hateful, because I know people were racist before Donald Trump. They just think that he made it more like okay for people to be openly racist, if that makes sense.
Now, that perception that you have, I think, is totally wrong. And if I may, I'll give you the reason why.
Go ahead.
It is because that is how he's being portrayed, because in actuality it is the left that has been projecting more of the hate, and they bring the racism forward. I mean, give you an idea, I mean, a perfect example would be Gussie Smollett. I mean, here's a guy, they had to fake a racist attack in order to project like it's the right that's doing it. But when you actuality, I can name off the top of my head a half dozen attacks on the right that happened in the past week.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
Oh yeah. No. I think both of us. I think we both believe this is that, you know,
this is
there's
both
too
sides
much.
Doing, but I
there's
think
too many extremes on both sides.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. But
well, I think the fuel is there because I think the powers that be always want us fighting against one another.
Oh yes. No. 100%.
Because then it keeps the people docile, and then they don't want to do anything about it. They just fight each other instead of fighting the government.
But I think the projection from coming from the media, which is mostly left-leaning, is to portray him in a bad light.
Oh yeah, I follow him on Twitter. I follow him on Twitter, and sometimes I read his posts, and I'm like, someone needs to proofread your stuff before you send it out. But also at the same time, like, I think it's not just solely his fault, because I do see people who are left-leaning say a lot of things that are contradicting towards what they want to do. They want to make America like a better place for everybody, whereas in the sense they're just being...
You know what happened in Sweden last night?
What happened in Sweden last night?
Yeah, you know?
No. Well, why don't you tell me? I mean, I know something's always happening. Some Muslims always attacking somebody.
But yeah.
So indeed, I don't know. I thank you for all. Here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton.
This
is good for any crime in the world, as you know. And,
thank you.
Check out my YouTube channel on the back.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
And you guys will be on it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. It was very nice.
So you're native to Mexico?
Yeah, I lived there for 18 years, and then I moved to Austin.
Oh, okay. What are you doing in Austin?
I'm studying. I'm actually American. I was born in El Paso, but I was raised in Mexico. Yeah.
Well, that's it. And yourself?
I'm from Chicago.
Chicago?
Yes, sir.
You also going to school?
Yeah. In Austin with her.
Oh, okay. What are you studying?
Arabic and international business.
Oh, very good. Very good, indeed. So, of course, there's a lot going on with Mexico and the border and everything.
Well, yes and no. Like, it was a really big thing. Like when Trump ran for president, you know, we don't talk about it anymore. We're just like, well, whatever he wants to do, he'll do it, and whatever government does, they do. You know, it's just.
What are your feelings on it? You think we need a wall, or do you think there's...
I mean, I just feel like the people who are coming are people who like want a better, a better life and more opportunities that Mexico obviously doesn't offer. You know. Well,
that's obviously true, but the point is, I mean, like you came to make a better life and to educate yourself and all that.
I mean, I love Mexico. I love it.
I think really Mexico is. I mean, if Mexico had a good government, it'd be a powerhouse.
It
would be a power because you got everything. You got the minerals. You got the the environment.
Tourism.
You got the culture. And the people are great. But it's governments itself. You know?
And every time we get like new, people running for presidents, we're just like, there's nowhere to choose from, you know. It's just like, it's not like, oh, I want to choose these and this and this.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't want to choose any of y'all, but I have to do something, you know. You have to vote anyways. So.
But the problem right now, speaking of the government, it seems like what they're doing or what they're trying to do is they're trying to send up their least skilled and least educated up here, which...
Well, they're not sending them. They're like,
well, in
the
a
government's
way,
not
they
sending them.
kind of are.
Yeah,
you
well,
know, I mean,
Mexico is, you know, that country that
they aren't stopping them. Let me put it that way. They aren't
Yeah.
discouraging them from coming up.
I know, and
Yeah.
it's just.
Instead of making it better for them down there, it's sort of like they're going,
Yeah.
no, let them take care of them. You know, yeah, get up there, let them take care of you. You know,
Yeah.
and it kind of puts a burden on the people here because then you know we have to, of course, if they can't take care of themselves, we have to take care of them.
Yeah.
Which is, you know,
I can see that. It's just, I don't know, it's just something I can't really set an opinion on because I'm not one of the least skilled or one of the, you know, like my family is like, it has money, they have money, and like we're in, you know, have like education and stuff, and like there's a reason why I was born in El Paso, you know, so I could have these opportunities, but I feel like I can't really set an opinion without really knowing what those people are going through or like what you guys are going through, like trying to like having to take care of them, or you know, 'cause it's not really like my place on any of the sides. So I just kind of, you know, every time I see, you know, a Mexican waiter or like, you know, someone who's trying to make it here, you know, there's this culture in Mexico that is help the Mexican. So like, if I'm here and I see, I don't know, a Mexican, you know, selling their stuff here, I'm like, you know, here you go, a little bit more, so you like, because I can't do that, you know. And you
if they're out there trying to work and better, yes, of course.
Exactly.
But it's the one. But I think the last statistics I saw that was 60% or over 60% of them are taking some kind of a welfare from us. You know, they're on some kind of like welfare program.
I'm not very educated in the subject.
Yeah.
It's really sad, you know. I try not to.
I just think that people are being taken advantage of. I think the disenfranchised and poor Mexicans are being taken advantage of, being used as pawns in a political game, which is unfair to them and unfair to us, you know, Americans.
Of course.
And being used, you know, because then the rich, on both sides, rich Americans here take advantage of their predicament, pay them less.
Yeah.
You know, drives the wages down for everybody, including poor Americans.
I just feel like the wall just tenses up stuff. Like, you know, like we've always been at peace, Mexico and the United States, you know, and I just feel like it creates tension. Not that it's something you guys need to like really worry about.
Well, the problem I think with it is because of the drug cartels. Is a big problem. I mean, at least get a handle on some of the smuggling that way, and the human trafficking, which is you know, a big problem.
I just feel like I don't know if there was mafia here at some point, right? Like,
still is.
Well,
we still got organized,
but like not as big as it used to be, right? I just feel like
no, it moved into the government.
I just feel like every country has to go through like, you know, a really like rough time just so it can like flourish into something else, you know, like. So I feel like Mexico's going through their part, and at some point, like everything's gonna, you know.
Yeah, but none of these cartels could exist without the government's complicity.
Yeah. I'm saying like the government is managing in a bad way, and you know the government's nothing without their town, without their people. So at some point, I know that we're all just gonna. Stop, you know, like I'm not saying like have a war, like probably a little revolution at some point, like just trying to.
Well, you have people that are trying to foster a civil war. I mean, you got groups like La Raza. Are you familiar with La Raza?
Yeah, no, not really, but I do know that there's some groups.
They got that, you know, they want to take back California and Texas and the Southwest because they feel it was stolen from them.
That's stupid. That is stupid.
Yeah, but they exist. I mean, they're real, and they foster a resentment. That's that again. The powers that be will take advantage of to try to, you know, get people, because they want us fighting amongst one another. They don't want us talking and working things out. They would rather have us fighting against one another so they can keep on taking advantage of us.
I'd say it's just everything's a matter of how you communicate things, you know? Like
being civil and being
I feel like Trump didn't do a good job
a conversation
at all.
like that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the whole tension just got up just because of like the way Trump talked about us and
well, I think he was he did, you know.
He was referring to Mexicans of Mexicans. He was referring
some. You got to remember that
but
they
he was
wanted
like they're animals, they're just the worst of the worst, and I'm one of them. And I don't feel like I'm the worst of the worst. Yeah.
I mean, some. You got to remember that one thing about Trump, he wasn't expected to be there. The powers that be didn't want him in there.
Oh no! When I saw his first speech, I was like, "This is a joke. He's never going to be president." But then
but the powers that be don't want him in there. He got in, and they're still trying to get out. So everything he says, they will try to bend to put it in the worst light possible. So when they say he's a racist, but I've talked to many people that work for him or have done business with him, and they say he is no way racist. He is like, he talks to you like a human being. He treats you fairly on it, but if you try to screw him, they can come down and you're like a ton of bricks. Which makes sense. I would get the same thing.
Yeah, everyone gets angry.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And if I was as rich as him, I'd have a lot more bricks too. So it's great. So well, I think we're at a good start here. If you're a representation for the Mexicans we need up here,
for sure.
All that. So God bless you too.
Yeah, you too. Have a good day.
We are college best friends.
Yeah.
Great. I guess you're out of college now, or?
I'm in law school now.
Oh yeah. What field?
I'm going to go into criminal law, so trial law.
Oh, good. Hey.
I'm actually an art major, but I don't agree with everything politically involved. I'm secret one.
You're secret one?
Yes.
Indeed. Well, you're going into criminal law, you're going to be busy.
Yep.
Try putting her in jail, will you? I mean, make that your first, hopefully she'll be in jail by the time you graduate. That'd be nice.
I think so.
So how do you deal with being out in California, being a conservative?
I'm from Northern California, so Napa Valley area, and so that's a pretty conservative area.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And I'm on the east side of Washington, which is usually more conservative, so I'm not from Seattle, I'm from Spokane, so...
That's good.
They wanted to separate the state once because of political differences.
Yeah. Well, I talked to a guy from California here a few days ago, and he said there's a thing going on called the New California. It's sort of like an underground movement that when California goes bankrupt, all these big movers and shakers are going to come in and take it over and try to.
That.
You heard about that?
Yeah, I have. As far as I know, it's going to go down at some point. But also, California is the 7th largest economy in the world, bigger than most countries, and so I really doubt that the federal government's going to let it go under. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just wanted to take a picture.
Well, God bless it to you.
Thank you.
And go forth and have fun.
Thank you. We will. Have a great day.
Oh, here, let me give you a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton.
Oh, wow.
This is good for any crime in the world.
Okay. Yes, pretty much.
And on the back, you got my YouTube channel. You go check out some of the encounters I have out here.
BadassUncleSam.com. I like that. All righty.
And you can get a lot of my designs and apparel. They come with a trigger back guarantee. If you don't trigger a liberal, you get your money back.
See? Yeah, perfect.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Okay. It's plain to see that conservatives have better looking women. So, what did you think? You like that one? Give you a little bit of hope. Maybe not all is lost. The colleges aren't turning out just a bunch of socialists. There are some good ones out there, folks. I do see them. That's why I'm on the street, so I can present them to you. The streets are the common denominator, and if you want to help keep me out there, well, you know what you do. So God bless you, and see you soon.